There are very few places in the world where we can see how tradition, nature, and modernity work in perfect harmony. Nevertheless, it's possible to find such a place in the heart of Mexico. A multifaceted state that holds the mysticism of tradition, that keeps the past in its corners, and that looks to the future with optimism and will of progress. That is the state of Puebla, a state that has been key in Mexico's history, which is filled with constant change and progress, a city that's been a stronghold of tradition and national identity. There are some key dates in every nation, and one of the most important ones is without any doubt May the 5th, in which the then youthful nation defended its sovereignty before the then strongest army in the world, the French army. This took place in no other than in Puebla. And today, 150 years later, we want to celebrate it with indelible actions. With the objective to offer an infrastructure that goes with these times, the state government of Puebla has decided to undertake one of its most ambitious initiatives, which is building a framework that strengthens strategic sectors like economy and social. An initiative that uses a record investment substructure in tourism, urbanization, and welfare in order to help people remember once again that this state is synonymous of change. We'll show you just a little of what the state government of Puebla has prepared. With the purpose to speed the access to downtown, a wide array of different access points and roads have been created and remodeled according to the 21st century city of Puebla. Just imagine this. Now you can get to downtown Puebla coming from the Mexico-Puebla Superhighway with the Ignacio Zaragoza Road, a construction that benefits more than 1,180,000 people that before had to go around the city or take different roads that simply weren't practical enough to take them where they wanted. And with this new road, they can get downtown in less than 6 minutes, as opposed to the 45 minutes it took to get there. A 3-lane road on each side that covers more than 1 kilometer, but that's only the first piece of this strategic plan. If we go down this new road, we'll find a bridge that speeds the 6-minute laps, the Calzada Ignacio Zaragoza Diagonal Stretch, Defensores de la República Road. An impressive highway that benefits more than 1,400,000 people that not only helps automobiles, but in the inferior part of this highway, public spaces will be built for recreational purposes. Going into downtown Puebla, we find El Paso Inferior Vehicular, Calzada Ignacio Zaragoza with Boulevard Héroes 5 de Mayo. This highway speeds the access that in early days was a very conflictive intersection. If you are impressed with what you've seen so far, there is much more to see ahead. One of the most concerning and promoted subjects by the state government is the living standards of the people, an aspect that without doubt generates peacefulness and well-being for all citizens in the state capital. With a historic investment, new life has been given to emblematic sites of our city, which is the case of the Barrio de la Luz and El Alto, in which the restoration of facades, public lighting, and even sewers improvement has begun. All of it with the purpose of allowing citizens and tourists to enjoy the city streets. Thousands of details, like sidewalk adaptations for people with visual disability, urban furniture, and even garbage disposals with special separations that encourage people to recycle. In welfare, public works were made to avoid waterlogging and floods in Cholula, with the creation of the rainwater collector Atlaco, tubing and routing discharges into collectors and sewers. As we mentioned before, there are different strategic sectors in this great investment, and the tourism promotion stands out as a key piece of this administration. But what is being done in this sector? The thrust starts with the complete restorations of the traditional Loreto and Guadalupe forts, but it really goes further than that. A park has been developed with a substructure that will give life to tourism with the creation of public spaces and the creation of a commemorative monument of the 150th anniversary of the Battle of May 5th. La Concordia, an exceptional lookout point of the city of Puebla with unique characteristics in its design that will leave you with a great sensation. This visual impact highlights the artificial lake that's now under construction in the outskirts of the lookout point, and that has a dock that will fill with life this work of art, and it's set to be one of the best in the country. In the midst of these refurbishments, we can find the Zaragoza Stadium, that from now on looks absolutely renovated to encourage sports activities among people. Not only public works were created, but maintenance and remodeling to our endearing classic monuments, so that this May the 5th, they can shine and remind us that Puebla is a true national treasure. The Ignacio Zaragoza and La Victoria mausoleums will be there, shining as if they were new once again, to remind us that 150 years before, the nation's history changed forever. As part of this great challenge in substructure, La Constancia factory has been rehabilitated, which once was one of the first large textile factories in the country. And now it's a museum that, because of its distinctive beauty, will be destined for cultural and recreational activities. A place that was given new life once again with a complete remodeling was the Rafaela Padilla Park, which now looks like a new training center out in the open air, reforested, with renovated furniture and open theater with a peculiar style that will give plenty to talk about for its innovative design, nestled in a cliff. This development also has an interactive military museum that gives Rafaela Padilla Park the chance to encourage family values, enjoy a family picnic, or music in a special stage. You can find all of these renovations in the center part of Puebla, but with the purpose of offering diversity to tourists, other places were included that combined nature, tradition, and history. And the best example of this is the Ex Hacienda de Chautla, located in San Martin Texmelucan, which was given new access roads, electric system, and much more that will leave you speechless and make it easier for the tourist who prefers camping. The government pays special attention to everything related to welfare, so a special task was undertaken to give the citizens recreation development spots for children and for the public in general. Las Americas Plaza is now a real learning center, recently remodeled, that makes it look like a 21st century space, and that to one side holds the planetarium, a building that without doubt inspires everyone to visit it because of the original way of introducing us to the universe, and that fits perfectly with the modern design of the plaza. On the other side of the plaza, we can find the interactive museum, Imagina, a place of cutting-edge architecture that holds in its interior a center for child development that gives great honor to its name. Imagina is a place where children can go and ensure the interactivity needed to unfold in this world. But let's move to another part of town, the Angelopolis area, that because of its importance requires government support to encourage urban planning, harnessing other zones that didn't appear in the space planning before. With the development of Paseo Ribereño or the rehabilitation of Rio Atoyac, the government undertook the hard task of healing this river from diverting away all discharges that it used to have, cleaning and generating more water treatment plants, so that this beautiful natural treasure goes back to being what it should always be, a beautiful river, but with the addition of a 6-kilometer-long jogging and walking track. But this project is far from over because other recreational spaces were developed so people could practice sports, take a walk, or have a picnic. In the same place at the end of the Riverwalk, we can find a great natural park that unquestionably will become an emblematic site in the city because of its design and gardening. Its name is Parque Metropolitano and stands in a place where people always asked for a natural and recreational space that provides healthy entertainment for the people. All government and administrative services will be concentrated in one place. There will be no more moving from one place to another to process applications and government services. This administration has created the CIS, Centro Integral de Servicios. The Angelopolis Zone will hold one of the most modern and efficient centers in the country for citizens' needs. It's a high commercial development where people will be able to carry out their daily activities and government procedures the same day and in the same place. A modern city requires an outstanding police force, so a project to broaden and remodel the police academy was undertaken. It's situated outside the city walls, and the personnel receives the most arduous preparation and training. And that's why the best facilities are required. And that's the case of our police force, that now has an enabling environment to make them excellent elements for the community. This is only part of the many developments in the state of Puebla, a state that's constantly under evolution and whose biggest concern is the well-being of its citizens. By developing new job sources, tourism, and recreational sites, and all near to a date that makes all Mexicans proud, May the 5th, the date that our national sovereignty was defended.